Yo, you must be crazy, bro.
Come on, young blood. Don't do me like that, man. Come on, man. Give me a chance, man. Come on.
What's going on YouTube? This is Sparks TC, and today I'm showing you guys how to use the gun flare effect or the gun burst effect, and we're just gonna get right into it. All I used for this right here was a BB gun that you see right there, and how I made this effect right here. I have a few assets from Production Crate. They're one of my favorite spots to get assets from, whether it's sound effects or really some different type of transitions, different types of everything. I go to Production Crate among a few other websites, but what I have right here is different sound effects and different visuals. So for the first one right here, I made a clip of myself in one of my studios, my home studio, just making some motions with a BB gun. And for right there, it's mostly drag and drop. First thing I would do is go to a regular gunshot sound and drag that down below and line that exactly where I want it to go. Take off the snapping and move it a little bit forward so it lines up. Next, we're going to go to our footage visuals, and we're going to grab a shot visual, and we're going to turn back on snapping so we can line it up like we want it to. We're gonna come over and resize it and bring the scale down and line it up with the BB gun. And first I'm gonna let that render out. And there's the flash, so I'm going to resize and shrink this down and get right to the flash. And we're going to line that up with the sound effect. So about here, let's see what we get. And bring that up. It's a little blurry, but bring that up here. And press an option to move on my keypad. I'm going to double the clip by moving it away, holding option and my keypad. And then I'm just going to move this clip over for the second shot. I'm going to make this a little smaller and do the same thing. From the beginning and move that up to where you see the orange of the BB gun. And right when I smack it, I actually want that to be a cocking sound. So I'm gonna come right back up here to my assets drag that from up here. And we're going to shorten that audio clip. And that's a machine gun, so from right where I start doing that, I'm going to load my next visual asset. Right up top here. You always want to go on top of the clip when you're overlaying an effect and not underneath the clip right here. So first thing I'm going to do is resize it. Next thing I'm going to do is keyframe it. So I'm gonna keyframe these first three and drag them I'm gonna actually undo these by pressing Command Z a few times. And I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start keyframing by moving it along with the BB gun. I'm going to drop a fresh one down and just do it one more time. And go to the middle of it. Resize. Move up top, make sure that's how big I want it. Once again, come over to transform and keyframe position, rotation, and scale. And go frame by frame. And shorten these two because they're all done. Next, I'm going to get a sound effect to go with it, the machine sound effect. So I can preview that by just clicking on it and pressing spacebar. I want to drag it down under. And trim it. Resize. And we're just going to cut that, blade it, and delete that part right there and see what it looks like. Trim a little more. Raise the volume. And where I hit it, again, I'm going to come over and option and move it over. Once I find the sound effect that I want. Right here. Select option and bring over with either your mouse or your trackpad. Take off snapping so I can move it freely. And that's going to be a loud gunshot. Similar to a shotgun. Turn snapping on so I can get that perfect. You know what? I feel like I want to switch those. So, unless I can just turn this louder. That's cool, yeah, I'm just make that louder. And go up top and see what assets I still have that I haven't used. I haven't used that. If I have like a shotgun blast, that'd be cool. Other footage, shooting flare. Let's see what this looks like. No, I use that for a different effect. So I'm actually just going to use the same effect that I used in the first one, but make it a little bigger. So option and trackpad, go over to loud gunshot, and you see it right here. So what I'm going to do is go to transforms right there. Come off of that snapping. And right before I erase it, I'm gonna use the loud. Put snapping back on. Line that up. And I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Actually, a lot bigger. And if you actually don't like the sizing of your shot, you can always distort it to make it look exactly how you want it to look. Distorting takes a little bit of time, but you would get a more defined look in your blast. And we're just gonna move those two just to make this a quick tutorial. I'm gonna start going a lot more in depth on making effects, but we're just gonna leave it like that and see what we have. And anything else I would do, there's actually some more effects where we can do the outside flashes, lights, like flashing. This is the effect that I would blade the clip and make it flash exactly with the gun sound. Let's just drag it and drop it and see how it looks right there. It's not all the way I would like it, so I'm just take that off for right now. But flashing and the transition, if you go under lights, you also have another one called Bloom, which is similar. But again, you would blade the clip and put the transition at the end of it, so, or the beginning. So So right here, if I blade this and add it in, let's see what it will look like. Let's let that render out really fast. And it's okay, but I don't really like it too much. We're gonna take that off by hitting Command Z and go to flash and see how the flash would look. Elongate the transition. And I don't really like the flash either, so I would recommend the effects over the transition, but still you would have to blade the certain clips carefully to get what you want. I'm gonna one more time try quickly and put it on where I bladed it at. Not color, lights, yeah, light. Let me see. I'm actually gonna blade the machine gun part just again to see what it will look like. And we're gonna let it render out for a few seconds until it's done. And that's not bad. We could just blade it a little bit before. So I would blade it around here. Take off snapping. I would blade it a little bit ahead of time. Elongating the clip first. And blade it around here. Let's say right here. Snapping back on right there. And drag flashing right there and see what we get. Maybe even blade a little further out, but if you look at my player, you'll see everything that I did from the sound effects and the visuals. And that is a quick tutorial on how to use the gun burst effect. If this brought any value to you guys, like it, subscribe. I'm really sure I'm gonna make another tutorial and make this one longer and more in depth because I sort of like how this one came out. I'm running short on time, but I still wanted to make this tutorial for a while, so I'm just throw this one out there and then make a longer in-depth tutorial after when I get a chance. But this is Sparks TC. Thank you guys for watching. Again, subscribe, like, share, and I'll catch you guys in the next tutorial.